down for 10, check.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Generation Sports. Boy, it's been a while, but, we've been busy with those fantasy football playoffs, and so we wanted to get together at the end of the season and have a little talk about it. I got a couple of my cohorts here. We got the guy who, was a two-time champ back-to-back, but fell a little short this year, and we'll get into that. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Little short. Little short. That sounds like, what Terry over here, bad drafter. I guess I need to change that or.
Oh yeah,
nah,
I think I'm by
gonna
far the worst drafter. And I
bad drafter.
I do have the board, so we're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at your drafted team to what you ended with. Oh my God, you drafted so bad, it wasn't even funny. And then we got the man that everybody loves to hate over there trying to get swole, like his team got swole this season. It's the new champion, everybody, of the Golden Goose League. Go ahead, introduce yourself, WAP.
I am the champ.
Woo! Give it a little Ric Flair with it. You know what I'm saying?
Woo!
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
You're the champ by this much. Like,
Champ
sounds
nonetheless, Terry.
Champ nonetheless.
blah blah blah.
Oh man. So let's go ahead and jump in it right away. Let's go talk about how let's talk about those final standings of the season. And or before we do that, actually, what did you guys think of this season? How was it?
Oh, this season, I think this season went better. This is our fourth year of this incarceration.
Whoa, you going to jail?
Perry for second place. But this is our fourth year, and I think by far this was our best year on the balance of the league and just the overall interaction and the overall knowledge of our league. This is by far our best year, my personal opinion.
What do you think, Terry?
I think it went well. I think, the biggest change was just people were more involved. I think they finally realized after 3 years that they need to do, they need to pick up players and make moves. And, so I think it was nice. I like it a lot.
All right.
There's, nothing, to me it's the same. Same old same.
Well,
Kenny
Really?
made the playoffs and still finish.
Wait a minute.
Kenny made the playoffs and still
Terry,
finished last in the playoff.
Well, I got right now up on the screen for the viewers to look at. I actually got where everybody finished out the season, for the places. So, I'll go ahead and run it off real quick so you guys remember in case you forgot, even though you should have it on your phones. But at the top, we had Krabby Karen with a C, aka the new champ. Number 2 was old Senior Bad Butt. Had the best record, but just lost out in points. And in this
That was
league,
something stupid.
in this league, just so everybody knows, points pay out. So everybody watching out there on YouTube, understand, you get money for points. So not only did this guy, Krabby Karen, get the, the championship pot, but he also got the most points. You got
Hey, by how many? Let's tell them how many points I won by most points.
it's on the screen. They're going to be able to see it. It was
9 points.
21.35
9 points.
to 21.71.45. So it's on the screen. They're going to be able to see it. And then we got Tucker My Chubb came in 3rd. IMCMC came in 4th. Uncle Bob's Gators came in 5th. Not My Team came in 6th, which was actually really cool because that's old Kenny, who's been, pretty steady on that last place lately. And for him to be able to jump in and do something, I thought was pretty cool this year.
Yeah, he finished last place in the playoffs. That's good.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's used to last place.
He finished second to last because he finished higher than Bob. So technically, he didn't finish last in the playoffs. He finished second to last. Just a heads up. I respect you, Kenny. I love you, buddy.
But then why is he 6th?
He's not 6th. He's 5th.
He should be 6th.
You gave me 6th. It's 6th. That's what Yahoo said. And the top 6, that's how it's broken down, is by what Yahoo says.
The list filter sent a couple hours ago.
I told you. Did you not see the list that I sent you?
The top 6 goes by Yahoo. The bottom 6 doesn't.
No. Oh, this should not be a thing that we discuss on this podcast.
That's what the league is about.
This
Confusion.
is, hey, I'm telling you right now, Kenny did not finish 6th. Kenny finished 5th. Not
We'll
6th.
talk about it later. We'll talk about
because
it later. My stats
again,
are correct.
you see
It's
in the
okay.
Constitution,
My stats
Kenny
are correct.
finished higher than the Bob. They both the first round of the playoffs. So Kenny will take over as
That's
the
not the way it works, but that's okay.
Bob
We'll
will
talk
finish
about that
6th
later.
seed because of where they
Well, no,
seeded
that's
leading
not how it
into the
works.
playoffs.
Not how it works.
So Kenny did not finish last in the playoffs.
He did, but
finished
that's
5th.
okay.
Bob
Anyway,
finished
number
last.
7, we got no trade clause. Number 8 was my team, Kosher Ballers. Unfortunately, I just couldn't pull out one more win because everyone counts.
Hey, just like the Giants.
Oh, wow. I see how it is.
And your life, Sheckman.
And then number 9, we got
Can't pull out.
The Sunny Side of Life. Number 10, we got You Never Know. Number 11, you got Champion Elect. And back at the bottom was last year's
AJ,
champ
you suck.
playoffs. Oh, with a big old fart.
From first to last.
Oh, my goodness. So, yeah. Telling
Poor
you.
AJ.
Oh, man. That was a rough year for that guy, man. I feel bad for him.
Filter, what's up with your face? Why are you making that sad face? You feel bad for him?
It's his buddy. It's his boy, of course. You're my boy, Blue. I love you, AJ.
Hey,
You know, that's what he's
we-
thinking.
listen.
I thought for sure out of every player in our league, I thought for sure.
Hey,
AJ
I
makes
wish I can go back to the beginning of the season when I specifically say, AJ, you are going to suck this year because of the trades that you made, because you cannot win with a 3rd round, 4th round, and no 1st and 2nd rounds. I'm sorry. Doesn't work like
That's
that.
the one downside.
Yeah.
About,
Do you want to? Hey, Terry. Right now, do you want to make a bet that I could definitely make the playoffs without drafting in the 1st round or the 2nd round next year?
Well, maybe. Who knows? Doesn't matter.
No.
This year.
Look, what I was talking to AJ earlier. What's funny is that AJ, the players didn't hit as soon as they, in theory, they should have, but
Bro, he had David
Taylor,
Johnson, Todd
Gibson,
Gurley.
Akers, like even David Johnson came on at the end. Now Gurley didn't do shit. Gurley came on at the beginning, but Akers, Gibson.
they did, but
Hey,
but that's
he
the thing.
traded.
How
He
you-
traded.
I
win
mean,
matters.
it ended up happening, but
He traded. Listen, the whole season for AJ was just a mess. You know what I mean? I don't even get me started. Like, Chase Edmonds for 4 players. Come on, man.
There was some,
And I had a conversation with him
I
about
ended up
this.
trading Taylor and Mike Williams for Edmonds there at the very end, and that as we'll find out later, possibly could have cost me.
Maybe.
There was a couple trades and stuff that were a little, and we'll get into the trades in a little bit. But let's talk about the draft a little bit. I'm going to throw the draft board up on here in a second. And I just want to pre-emphasize with everybody viewing. You guys have a copy of the draft board in front of you?
I do.
I can send it to the group message, I think.
Nope, I got it. I'm the one who sent it to you. Please hold.
Well, I'm using a different copy of it, but it's easier for the viewers to see. But yeah, get that up there.
I can try to pull it up.
I got it. Here, I'm sending it to you right now, Terry.
No, I don't want your message. Yeah, send it. I don't
I
have
don't
it.
want your message.
No, I have it. I have it right here.
All right, you got it?
Yep.
Oh, I got it.
This is just going to be a little bit confusing because what everybody doesn't understand is that the champion right here had like 21st round picks.
Well, that's the one thing we got to talk about when we're talking about the draft board then is the fact that, we didn't, and not every, like, for instance, just so the viewers, because the draft board's up on the screen for the viewers to look at, just so you guys understand, Dalvin Cook was not drafted 1 overall. There were some trades made before the season started, and so we traded some draft picks, but you can see the overall teams and what teams people drafted, even though they might not be in those exact positions. So
Well
it kind of
said.
gives you a little bit of an idea, at least.
Which Dalvin Cook should have been drafted 1 based on what he did.
Well, based on what he did, yeah. Well, I mean, honestly,
No, based
Derrick
on
Henry.
if we're gonna go off based on what it should have went either Kamara or Derrick Henry
Yeah,
one
I
and
agree.
2.
I mean, that's the truth. If we're talking about that,
Nah, I take Dalvin Cook.
You
so-
still take that. Knowing what we know now, you would still take Dalvin Cook.
Bro,
over
Kamara
Henry
had like
or
Kamara had like 3 or 4 weeks when Taysom Hill was starting that he didn't do crap.
What
Then he
about
comes
Derrick
one
Henry?
week. Derrick Henry, he had like the first 5-6 weeks, which he does every year. You know, he doesn't do anything, but he ended up with
Well,
over
we're not
2,000
talking about
yards.
we're not
but-
talking about the
Dalvin Cook
first of
had
the
a-
year. We're not
Dalvin
talking about
Cook
the
had-
first of the year.
Dalvin Cook had games in the middle of the season that he wasn't really doing much. He got hurt a couple times. Like, listen, you beat me because Dalvin Cook decides to get hurt at halftime, and the only player that you could start because you drafted so damn poorly was freaking his backup, Madison, and Madison blows up for 30 points and a half.
Hey.
Like, what the hell? And then the very next week, Madison starts by himself, and he barely gets 5 points. Like, what kind of crap is this? That could have been my win to get me in the playoffs. So stupid.
Wait.
So
That's
stupid.
like, hey, Dalvin Cook have 415 points. Kamara has 424. Dalvin Cook missed one game.
Where's
One
Derrick?
game.
Where's Derrick
He missed a
Henry at?
game and a half. I mean, you know.
Where's
Yeah.
Derrick Henry at?
No, because that game and a half, he already had a bunch of points.
He did.
427. So Dalvin Cook had about 9 to 10 points less than these two guys missing one game.
Yeah.
Take Dalvin Cook all day long. Either way,
Where did Derrick Henry finish?
he had 427 points. So I think he finished first. But my point is that Dalvin Cook missed one game and he still have as many points. So he would have been way up there. And this is with Kamara scoring like 20 touchdowns. Well, that didn't count too much because oh no, it should count, right? Yeah, it's for the whole season. Never mind.
What I
All
don't
right,
get,
doesn't
though, is
matter.
let's real quick read out Terry's draft. Like, imagine if Terry was forced to keep his team this season. And I know that that's part of fantasy football. But when I look at his team, I just laugh at the names that I'm looking at here. Michael Thomas.
Well, you can't laugh at that. Nobody knew he was
No,
gonna
let me
get
finish,
hurt,
though.
right?
This is how
Okay.
I'm giving you credit at how good of a or how lucky or good you are, because you had Michael Thomas, you had Travis Kelce, you had Chris Carson, Calvin Ridley, Tariq Cohen. Like, that was a horrible.
He got
In the
hurt.
fifth round.
He
in the
got
fifth
hurt.
Round.
He got hurt.
Dak Prescott.
He got hurt.
Dak Prescott, Alexander Madison in the 7th round, and he ended up winning you a game against me. Like, who picks up a backup in the 7th round, right?
Dude, it's because of Dalvin Cook always gets hurt.
Debo
was a huge
Samuels,
pickup.
right?
He got
James
hurt.
White, he didn't even play
Yeah.
this year. Golden Tate, scrub. Nikhil Harry. I mean, Bryce, like, look at this team. How the hell
love
did you
it,
do
man.
so good?
I love it.
Terry finds a way. And I'll
love
say
it.
this right now, and I don't know how many views this will get, if any, but just let me
It's like,
like any person
for that
who
one
ever-
viewer out there.
Yeah.
Hey, for any person who watches this, just know the guy that you're watching right now, who looks somewhat like a pedophile with his
Oh
head
my
shaved,
gosh.
is one of the most and me saying this and Shaq and Terry both know, me saying this hurts, but also, like, dude, I've been doing this for 20 plus years, and what Terry has done with his teams over the past 4 years in this league, I've never seen. Like, Terry, there's an aura,
Making him emotional.
there is something that Terry has done to the fantasy gods to make teams that Terry, like, what we should talk about when we get to the finals and the championship is read off Terry's team as well. Like, I showed people that I've been in long dynasty leagues with and fantasy leagues with, and showed them Terry's team. I'm like, hey, without knowing anything, just this team, where do you think this guy ranked? And not one person that I show the team to, did not one person say he finished in the top 6. Not fucking one. And for Terry to do what he does every year in our league, it's hashtag Terry finds a way. And it's amazing. Like,
Not
Terry,
against Zoe.
like
That's
Sheckman was saying, oh, well, you got Zoe when it mattered. And like Sheckman was saying,
True.
It's like, how is this possible?
Like,
But
exactly.
But you gotta,
dude,
There
in
is
redraft-
sometimes luck. There's no reason Alexander Madison had done nothing all season.
Yep.
And you started him against me,
Hey.
and he got 20-something points to beat me. Like, how is that? Like, it's just ridiculous, the stuff that happens sometimes.
yeah,
hey,
but you
and
got,
now think about this too. Like I put in the group chat the 3 closest games this year. The 3 closest games, all under a point. Terry was involved in every one of them. Every one of them under a point. Terry was in the top 3 of the
oh,
closest
that's
games.
the one that beat you by less than a point. Check, I thought of that's crazy.
No,
Well, the other
it
thing
was
was-
you beat Bob. You beat Bob by 0.06. You beat Chris by 0.95, and then I won't spoiler alert it yet,
The last.
but
yeah.
we'll talk about the championship.
Well, let's.
We'll
real
talk
quick,
about the championship.
I do want to give a shout out to because I'm going to put the draft board back up so everybody can see it real quick. Because I do want to give one shout out because there was one pick every year. Like in our league, I feel like there's one player that gets drafted and people are like sleeping on it, right? Like for instance, last year, I think I got Lamar Jackson in the 5th or 6th round. And I remember everybody was talking trash, like, oh, that's going to be that's a horrible pickup. You know, he went way too early, this and that. But for his value and what he broke out to be, he was a steal last year in the 5th or 6th round. This year, I got to give it to you, Filter. Josh Allen in the 14th round. It's right up there on the board. So everybody can see it.
Okay, let me just say something about that for a second, because I understand that he was drafted in the 14th round. No other league that I played in, nowhere anywhere else, Josh Allen made it to the 14th round. So it matter of the teams that we have in this league, they do not know what the frick they're doing, because Josh Allen should not have been. Josh Allen should have never made it to the 14th round. Matthew Stafford and the 12 over Josh Allen. Nope. Sorry.
Dude,
no, when
did
you pay.
You say that because I drafted Stafford. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I said that, of course. Matthew Stafford comes from a back injury the year before.
Dude, he was blowing up the league. He was on MVP level. Dude, there was nothing to show that this guy was going to have the injuries to his receivers and have all the problems he did. Matthew Stafford has always been a reliable fantasy quarterback. Josh Allen's been up and down. Like, you don't know what you're going to get from him. Nobody saw this season coming, just like nobody saw Lamar Jackson's season the year before.
Hey, can I say something about me? Like, because my draft strategy is typically like take all skill positions, take QB very late, and then worst case scenario kind of.
Can you repeat that? I want to copy that for next year.
Well, you just rewatched the video. It's okay.
Okay, perfect.
It's fine. I'll repeat it as well so you can hear it twice when he rewatches it. I always and this is not a secret. This is not a secret. I take QBs super late because I'll either stream them or just like Terry did after Dak Prescott got hurt. He got Herbert, right? And Herbert turned out to be amazing. And
only when it mattered the most, he was not amazing.
Yeah,
just when it mattered the most.
As we're talking draft wise, as I'm sitting here and I'm watching everybody draft, and I'm like, okay, I gotta eventually get a QB, and I'm watching Josh Allen, and I'm watching him, and I'm watching everybody pass, and I'm like, dude, am I about to get Josh Allen in the 4th? Even during the draft, I said something saying like, dude, how did I get Josh Allen in the 14th round? It was, and again, no spoiler alert, but we'll see what happens in the championship round because of that. Well, but please continue.
Josh Allen finished top 10 last year. Top 10 over Carson Wentz, Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Tom Brady. So you're gonna tell me that why is he not drafted as a top 10 quarterback? You know what I mean? Like, but so when somebody drafts,
I think he was around top 10 still. It's just he drafted just when the quarterback went later on. He just went late because people drafted early quarterbacks, but I think he was still a top 10 quarterback drafted.
Here, let me see.
It wasn't. No, you have Matt Ryan, Matthew Stafford, You have over 10.
You got to draft 9 quarterbacks before him, right? For him to be in top 10.
Yeah.
So what were the 9 quarterbacks then?
Okay, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott,
Tom Brady.
Oh,
Tom
you don't even
Brady,
gotta go that far.
Kyler
Just
Murray,
look at the draft board.
Matthew Stafford, Carson
Newton,
Wentz,
Burrow.
Russell Wilson.
Okay, so we're still only at 8. Where's like?
Oh no, Drew Brees,
Okay, 9.
Matt Ryan, Matthew Stafford.
We already said Stafford in them. Like, so that's what
Okay,
he was
Tom
drafted
Brady.
around number 10.
No, he was. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
He wasn't the last quarterback drafted.
12. No, he was 12. He was number 12.
So he was the last quarterback off the board.
No, because after that was Joe Burrow,
Well, we
Cam
don't count
Newton,
the second
Daniel
stringers.
Jones.
We don't count second, like people who drafted a backup. So you're saying he was the last.
Well, yeah, but if you don't count that, think about this. Kyler Murray was drafted by Kenny, and then 4 rounds later, he drafts Tom Brady.
That's just well, that was just a weird thing.
So if Tom Brady was available there,
do
you think if Tom Brady's available at that point, do you think
Never. Any person who listens to this, never in a redraft 1 QB league, never draft 2 QBs unless it's super, super late.
so? Filter, do you think Tom Brady being available in the 11 or 12 round to you would never pass on that?
Yeah, I would
You
have.
know what I mean? No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would have. Yes, I would.
Bull crap.
I just
Coming
told
to
you,
Tampa?
Go look at any draft board. Go look at any draft board that we've ever done. My QB is literally it's going to go skill positions all the way as far as I can push it, unless there's incredible value. Like I'll push it all the way to the end and do QB.
You took
some
Duke
other player
Johnson,
and then
Duke
kicker and
Johnson, Chenault, Devino Zibo, whatever the Jacksonville running back is, ahead of Josh Allen. So you would have taken Tom Brady there ahead of those 3 players easily. But either way, we're not gonna go.
Yeah, let's not hash
back
out
what
that
happened.
thing. Let's talk about though. I will say
no
this.
spoiler alert. No spoiler alert.
Since
But
we're
we'll
talking
get into that.
Since we're talking
But
about
continue, Sam.
since we're talking about Josh Allen, right? And we're talking about that whole in the 14th round. There was a huge trade, I think, that helped start to determine, it was made early, where certain teams were going to be heading. And
Nick Chubb, Stephon Diggs.
that's exactly that's what I'm putting up.
Hold on.
It's up on the screen. It's up on the screen.
By the way, I cannot see the screen, so
I
that
know,
was
you'll
just
have to-
right here.
I know. So it's for the people watching at home, not for you, buddy. But yeah, so there was a trade made on September 16th. So that's pretty early in the season, obviously, for
Week 2.
Laviscus
Week
Chenault,
2.
Myles Gaskins, Raheem Mostert for Nick Chubb and Stephon Diggs. Ends up getting the number 1 receiver
You hear
in
that
the
noise?
NFL.
Do
to
you hear that
pair with
noise?
his number 1 quarterback. Unfreaking believable. Terry, what do you feel about that trade? I know you liked it.
No, I didn't. Listen, to be fair, Diggs was literally, if you hear every fantasy analyst, any magazine, he was not on anyone's board.
No,
this guy was
attitude
supposed to be right. This guy was supposed to be a bomb, so like I give that. But he wasn't supposed to be
a bum. But
well, not a bum, but he was not supposed to do what he did right now. You got John Brown in there. You got Josh Allen, which is like he came from being like the worst, passer rating in the history or whatever.
Oh,
like,
wait, but everybody should have drafted him in the top
because
10.
he runs, bro.
Okay.
This league's point, by the way, quarter of a point per rush. You know what I mean? Those quarterbacks are a little bit, whatever. That's what Filter says, right?
Well, no, they don't get the quarter of a point for the rush.
Yes, they do.
Just like a running back. Yeah.
But only on design runs, not scrambles.
Yeah. No wonder he finished 8th place. You don't even freaking know that.
Oh, whatever.
Either way. So to me, like, when did he do the draft? September what?
Like 3rd?
Labor Day.
Yeah, it's like every Labor Day.
No. When was the trade on?
Oh, September 13th.
Week 2.
Okay, so week 2.
It was the second week.
So I can see why the trade was done, right? Like, if only 1 week, Diggs, I don't even know what he did the first week. Kareem Hunt was there with Nick Chubb. You know what I mean? So I can see that Nick Chubb got hurt back then, right? Or was he still
No,
healthy?
No,
he was
no,
still fine.
he was hurt later after I traded Nick Chubb to
Izzy, I think.
Izzy. And then
Okay,
he got
gotcha.
hurt.
Yeah, because that's what happens. Filter trades somebody to Izzy, and then the guy
Trades.
gets hurt 2 years in a row.
Either way, I just, we didn't know what, I mean, to be fair, Monster got hurt, you know what I mean? So that was bad luck. We didn't know what Gaskins was going to do.
Gaskins killed it until he got injured.
Yeah.
But Chenault, and who was the other person? Was there like a
That was
4
it.
player?
No, it was those 3.
3 players?
3 for 2.
Yeah. So, I wasn't
And
hating it
same
that
with
much.
Diggs, but I wanted to pair Diggs with Allen, right? And Mostert week 1 blew up, scored like 30 points. Chenault was a very big a lot of people were very high on Chenault. And
Tell me what you did. How you sold that to D? Because there's no way D
you know what's so
anything
crazy?
about
What's so
Chenault.
crazy? I wish, knowing that this would have came up, I wish I would have sent Sheckman the text message from D to me. D offered that. D was like,
by
give
the
me.
way, so Filter, you're wrong. It was earlier than you thought. The first game for Stephon Diggs was on September 13th. He went 8 for 9 for 86 yards and no touchdown. And then later on that night,
That's what I'm saying. So, and then week 2, before week 2 is I trade him.
Yeah,
I traded for Diggs before week 2.
But see, that's
what I'm saying. Now look at Mostert. What Mostert do week 1? Mostert scored like 27, 28 points.
Yeah, he had a big game. I have to go back and look, but I was just looking up Diggs.
So that's what I'm saying. So hindsight is one thing, but back then, okay, Mostert's the number 1 running back on a running team with the Niners, and Gaskins comes out to be the Dolphins' number 1 running back, and Chenault had a lot of upside.
No, you know what he did? You know what he did? This is where you have to know your trade partner. He was able to throw in a guy from the Jags to a Jags fan, and that sweetened the deal for him.
I didn't throw. This is again. I wish.
Well, he did it. He did it to you. He was trying to get Chenault.
Yeah, that's what his goal was. So he gave up in order because he wanted his Jags player. That's what it came down to.
Yeah.
But again, it didn't come just down to that. It came down to, hey, Mostert, number 1 running back on a running team. Chubb is sharing. What did Chubb do week 1?
Oh, he didn't do crap. That's what he tried. He played against Baltimore. He only had like 8 points.
Yeah.
When they got killed.
And then again, Diggs didn't do much. But
dude, he got 9 targets. First game of the season.
Done for most of this is going to be heard or seen by our league, right? So that was done in hindsight. It'd be like, hey, you get this plus an extra player. Yeah. So in hindsight, yeah. Oh, we're all going to bury D for a horrible trade, but at the time, it wasn't terrible.
Again, I didn't
but
say that.
Again, spoiler alert.
Hey, I did not say. I that's what I said at the beginning.
Terrible.
At the beginning, it didn't look terrible. However, you have to think about the players that you're trading. Chenault, like, what are you getting? You have no idea. You know what I mean? Gaskin. Gaskin. You have no idea what you're getting with Gaskin.
You're getting
Miles Gaskin in week 2. Miles Gaskin in week 2. Miles Gaskin in week 2. Jordan Howard, Matt Breida, they were still around.
What?
Oh, no. Breida and Howard, like after the first week, they didn't get no love.
Yeah, but when you traded him.
Those guys didn't get no love.
Breida didn't, but Howard did. Howard was still getting goal lines.
Scored a touchdown. He scored like 3 touchdowns in the first 3 weeks.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Howard was still getting goal line carries in the beginning. It wasn't until about week 3 or 4 where they took him out and were like, okay, we're done with you.
Nick Chubb, bro. That's like trading, like
he was a beast the year before too.
That was like, he finished like either tied up or second rushing behind Derrick Henry. You're trading him for Mustard, which you have Tevin Coleman, Jerry McKinnon, who's the other guy? Jeff Wilson. Like all those players,
Yeah,
he wasn't the
you
number
can't,
one.
again, you can't take hindsight out of it because Jeff Wilson was not a part of
Okay,
that.
well,
That's
Jeff
true.
Wilson, you still got Devin Coleman, Jerry McKinnon, big deal. Like you still got two other players.
Yeah,
Whatever,
big deal.
bro.
What Tevin Kelman do? What did Jared McKinnon do? All right, Mostert
Well,
came into
hindsight.
that. Mostert came in.
Hindsight.
No, hindsight.
Oh, dork.
So, anyways, I know we're taking up a lot of time on that, but I'm just saying, it wasn't at the time in our league. It's still there was an uproar about it, but it wasn't where if we could have predicted and seen in the future, then yeah, oh shit, Mostert gets injured, Gaskins gets injured, Chenault don't hit until way later in the season, so
He never hit.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, he hit. Did you not see what he did?
Oh,
Week
Gaskin
17?
had some big games,
16?
man. I had
Week
Gaskins in one of my other
17.
leagues.
You see what he did
had
in
some
week
good games.
18?
That's AJ. Look at AJ. Like all the players that AJ drafted. If any person watches this, rewind and go back to the draft board and see all the players that AJ hit on. And
He didn't
we
hit
don't
on
see
because he
all
traded
the
him.
trades.
Well,
He
But
traded Cam
couldn't
Akers.
wait.
hit-
He
they
couldn't
just
He
wait.
hit
traded
later,
Cam
that's all.
Akers. He traded Antonio Gibson. He traded David Montgomery. He traded who else? That's about it. Those are the three running backs that
Well, he wanted Jonathan Taylor, which again he ended up trading for, but yeah, he was on the right path. They just didn't hit the way they were. And the same with Chenault. Like fantasy is not about predicting or repeating last year's stats. Fantasy is about predicting the future. That's why I went for Diggs, is because I'm like, all right, I see, like Terry said, he got 9 targets. I'm like, okay, who's this competition? John Brown? Like, all right. So it's about predicting the upside of players. You hit and miss on that, but the more if you pay attention and you follow the trends and do all that, then yeah, that's why I was able to get Stephon Diggs and Nick Chubb.
All right. Well, let's talk about how let's jump into the thing that we've been waiting to talk about. All right. Let's talk about the championship game. All right. Let's talk about Terry versus Filter, good versus evil, the whole 9 yards. The light versus the darkness. Oh,
Hey,
speaking of which.
just like 2020, right? Like I could not have won in 2020 because only bad things happened in 2020. So
So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna throw up onto the screen so everybody can see it. What the
I like
matchup
that.
was.
I'm gonna throw up.
While he throws up a little something, I'm going to throw up a little something. So right here was the matchup for our championship game. And boy, oh boy, it couldn't have gotten any closer to a game than this one was. It was a 0.05 margin. And the thing that people need to understand when they're looking at this board right now on their screen, this was not a 0.05 margin where it looked like it was going to be a game. If you're looking at the top 2 players for Krabby Karen's team, which won, he had Stephon Diggs and he had Jared Allen, who hadn't played until Monday night. Okay. Projected to get 30 and 18 points apiece. Okay. If you do the math, he's down by what's that? 85.
He was down by 75
points. He's down by like 86 points, 87 points, right? You're going into your championship game. There's no way you think you're about to win this.
Let's rewind. Let's you're jumping way ahead. Let's start at the beginning with Josh Jacobs.
Okay, go ahead. Talk about it.
So Josh Jacobs was the first game. There was multiple games played before any one of us had a player play. Josh Jacobs was the first one played on Saturday night.
Oh yes, yeah.
So I'm going in there. The week prior to that same thing, Josh Jacobs was my first one on Thursday night, scored like 28 points. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Josh Jacobs for Dolphins. Dolphins defense is above average. And I'm like, okay. And watching that game, there at the very end, Josh Jacobs not once, but twice dropped at the 1 to not score, right? So Josh Jacobs ended up with how many points? You're looking at
10.15.
He would have got me like 16 points. And then after that, because Terry had the kicker for the Dolphins. So because of that, it was a huge swing. Like
The
the kicker for the
got him
Dolphins.
15 points. So he's already
Yeah,
up.
but that he got 4 points at the end of the game for the Dolphins to beat the Raiders because the Raiders didn't score.
Well,
and
so
that was a
after the
huge
first game,
swing at the start.
First game, you're already down 5 points to a kicker, and you had a running back go.
It felt good. Mm-hmm.
No, that was Saturday. Then Sunday kicks off. And even after Sunday, all those games at the very beginning, I'm feeling confident. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is a wrap. I'm watching the games. I'm cleaning my garage. I have it on the Bluetooth, and I'm watching as I'm cleaning my garage. And all of a sudden, I'm watching Ridley. I'm watching Lamb. I'm watching Claypool. They were doing nothing the first half. And then as I'm watching / listening, I hear, 57-yard touchdown by Lamb. 55-yard touchdown by Ridley. I'm like, what the hell is going on? It was driving me nuts. And my players weren't hitting. But I had my heavy hitters hitting Sunday night, Derrick Henry, and then Allen and Diggs. How are you feeling Sunday before the Sunday night game, Terry?
Before Monday night?
No, before Sunday night, even before Derrick Henry. You had to feel decent. You had to feel like, okay, I got it going on.
No, I felt pretty good. Like I wasn't like really like into it like as much, but I was feeling, I was fine, man, because it's stupid, man. It was stupid because on my end, you gotta understand something, right? Here I am with my flex spot. Okay, that was my biggest thing during this whole thing. I knew who I was going to play.
Check when you have the roster still up, right?
I don't have it up on the screen, but I have it.
Well, my players. Well, I kind of give you like
so you can see, so they can see what Terry's talking about.
All right.
So I knew I was going to play Ridley, Claypool, and Lamb. Even though Claypool and Lamb were not, I was just, you know what, I'm gonna ride or die with these guys, right? Big time players, it is what it is.
Are they big time? Lamb hasn't been doing shit. Claypool definitely hasn't been doing anything.
But you gotta look at.
They're not big time players. Really big time.
Okay, who am I gonna play instead of them? You know what I mean? Am I gonna play?
No. I understand you didn't. I'm
saying big time players to me on my lineup.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
If I have
Allen
Robinson,
call them big time players.
Okay, big time players for me. I call them whatever I want. They're my players. So
they're second place players. Put them at that.
All right. Okay. So then I know I'm gonna play. Giovanni Bernard had this huge game the week before, and now he's playing against Houston, worst rushing defense. I gotta play him. You know what I mean? I knew I gotta play Dobbins. I knew I gotta play Kelsey. So here's my flex spot. Not sure what I'm gonna do.
Hey, just for anybody that didn't understand that, he said Dobbins.
Then I got Logan Thomas, Mark Andrews, and Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. So that's my flex spot. So here I am thinking, who the heck am I gonna play, right? And anyone will tell you, you play your studs, right? You play Ezekiel Elliott. However, like everybody know, Tony Pollard the week before had a huge game. Okay, so we didn't know if Elliott was gonna play this week or not, even though people kept saying, yeah, he's gonna play. So my first thought was, hey, I'm gonna play Mark Andrews. That's what I've been playing for the past 3 or 4 weeks, and I'm done, right? But then I'm thinking, well, what if Elliott is out? I can't miss on Tony Pollard. You know what I mean? Look what Logan Thomas did the week before. He had 13 targets, 10 catches, 100 and something.
Killed it.
You know what I mean? He killed it. So I'm like, listen, I'm just going to wait it out. I'm going to sit Mark Andrews, and I'm going to wait out for Elliott. If Elliott sits down, I play Tony Pollard. If not, I'll stick with Logan Thomas.
Stop banging on stuff.
Oh, I had to bang and stuff because freaking Elliott.
It's bad on the. It makes the audio horrible. Okay. Please don't do that.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Bang it, Terry. Yeah. Be upset.
I play Logan Thomas.
Spoiler alert.
Play Logan Thomas, and he had whatever. 11, 12 points, 12 point, I think 12.65 or something like that.
13.55. I have it pulled up.
13.55. And then I
Still,
sit down.
for tight end, pretty decent.
But here's the thing: is if you look at compared to like if we go position by position, right? Compared to Jason's flex, you win. Jason's flex, Antonio Gibson only got 12.4.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, it came down to me personally, it came down to Buffalo. I fell in love with Buffalo just because it was Monday night, and I did not want to have a player on Monday night when he had two of them. So I was just, no, I gotta play Buffalo. You know, they're going against New England. They're gonna kill it, right?
Smart decision by you. Like we'll get to that, but smart decision by.
Because if I can't play that, then I got the Steelers. They have been doing not so good for the past 2 weeks. Now they're playing against the Colts, right? So the Colts have a great defense. You know, it's a tough matchup, right? They're gonna be in top positions to score. Guess how many points Pittsburgh scores? 12 points. Guess how many points Buffalo scores? 11 points. 1 point. How much did I lose by? 0.05 points. If I play
0.05. No, there's no extra
Hey,
zero.
spoiler alert, Terry. Spoiler alert.
No, it's already up there. People saw the
Already
score. I had
there,
the matchup up
I
there.
know. I'm just saying spoiler alert for just my entertainment.
For anybody out there, Mr. Filter messaged multiple times on Sunday. Congratulations, Terry. I can't believe you did it. Terry finds a way. You're the champion.
Oh, God.
No way I'm gonna win.
Oh
Don't even
Blah,
start,
blah, blah, blah,
Terry.
blah. Blah, 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 blah.
It wasn't. So, all right. So we go through all the players. Fucking Lamb blows up. Ridley blows up.
Bernard, bro.
Bernard, what Bernard score?
Bernard had
24.10.
he was my top scorer.
Bernard kills it.
CeeDee Lamb 23.65.
What
Hey.
Dobbins get?
16.45.
And if you don't know this, Filter,
Everything's going Terry's way. And
it
again,
didn't go my way.
This is year
Frick
4.
that, man.
It was.
Terry has come in first the first 2 years of this league, came in second the third year, and here this guy is with a team that I personally think is not a good team. Like I'm like, okay, I get to play Terry. I should win. Like, everybody gets to see it. You see, like, if you would have put this up and put it on Twitter or any social media and be like, all right, pick which team's going to win. My team would have won in a poll or anything landslide with my team. Allen Robinson, who did like 20 points. He did decent. What hurt me was Julio was hurt. So I put in
Johnson.
what is it? Johnson.
Yeah, that killed you. 5.6. That's where you got. That's why you got scared. At that point, when Goddard only got 6 points, you're like, or 6.8. That's when you're probably thinking, oh crap, it's going to be a long day. So I think we already
it's
lost.
stupid. Did we lose him? Great. I love that. Just so everybody understand, in our league, every rushing attempt is 0.25 points. 0.25 points, right? So if I think about that, think about this. Dobbins, Bernard. How many times Bernard gave the ball to the other guy? Perrine. He scored 2 touchdowns. He could have got me 1 more carry. Dobbins went out of the game for a little bit because he got banged up. He could have got me 1 more carry. You know what I mean? Like, it's just stupid. To me, it was made for him to win, which he was fine with me. You know what I mean?
That's where I talk about, right? That those are players that you shouldn't have been able to get that far with, because they're going to split time. Like, that's what they're about. So the fact that you even have them out there like that, I mean, what do you expect?
But at the end, it wasn't like that, because Dobbins was taking over that. You know, and Dobbins was, this is what happened with Dobbins, just so you know. I was struggling with running backs the whole season.
Yeah,
and this was because I made a really bad trade at the beginning of the season that I still regret to this day, which I fell in love with DJ Moore. I wanted DJ Moore on my team. I wanted DJ Moore, and I traded Chris Carson and James Robinson for DJ Moore. Horrible.
Which I don't know why you
Horrible
didn't give him to
trade.
me. I would have done that trade.
Horrible trade. Horrible trade. So I was struggling with running backs the whole season. Bobby, before our matchup, he sends me a trade around midnight. The guy's drunk. Jarvis Landry for J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
Now at that point, I'm like, take it, right? J.K. Dobbins hasn't been taking over that game, that position yet in Baltimore. So I'm like, I'm taking that. I got a better chance of winning with him. And this is what happened. So you got to think about this. What other way for me to lose? What other way? What I'm trying to say? This was the best way for me to lose because of the wins that I had against you, Bobby, and Kenny. Because like you say, with you, Alexander Madison out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
So number one, Bobby trades me J.K. Dobbins, right, for Jarvis Landry. That week that I play him, Bobby loses. J.K. Dobbins goes off for like 16 points. Jarvis Landry got like 9 or 10. Bobby would have won. And then another one, Kenny. Kenny decided to start Tom Brady instead of Kyler Murray. That's the week that Tom Brady had 4 points on Monday night or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what other way, for me to lose and not this way? So whatever. Congratulations.
Listen, there's a lot of coulda, woulda, shouldas, and we're getting to the point we're gonna have to wrap it up soon. But I mean, you both can go back and look at it and say, well, if I would have played this one guy, or if this guy would have gotten that one extra yard, like when we're talking about a 0.05 difference, yeah, anything could have broke out. If somebody didn't take
two carries. That's 2 carries for 0 yards.
Yeah, exactly. Even that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's anything.
No, what are you talking about? It's 0.05.
No, it's not.
Not 0.05.
Yeah, it's 0.25. Yeah,
no, it's not 0.5.
We don't have 3 spaces. It only goes 2 decimals.
Dude,
no, Terry's right. Terry's right.
0.05.
That's why my phone cut off for whatever reason. I got back in, but
listen to what you're saying though. Hold on. Listen to what Terry said. 0.05 is the same as 0.05. There's no difference.
It's not the same.
It's not.
Listen. 0.05 is the same as 0.05.
It's
I'm
not.
just not
It's
putting
the
the
same.
0 in front.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same.
all-
But I
okay,
thought the filter was saying 0.5.
0.05
That's why
is not the same.
Correct. I said 0.05. I'm just not adding the
you're good.
0 in front of it.
I thought you were saying because filter said 0.5.
No.
So I thought you were
0.05.
agreeing with him.
Because one carry would have done it for 0 yards.
Yeah, well,
one carry
would have.
one carry for 0 yards would have won it. But before it got cut off, here's where I don't get the true excitement of being the champion of this league is that Sunday night I watched Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry, hey, what is a thing that I've said throughout the playoffs? What is coming?
Winter's coming.
Winter's coming, right? So I'm like, all right, Derrick Henry. So I watched that Sunday night game, and I'm like, I need Derrick Henry, worst case scenario, to get me 25 points. Worst case, 25 points. Derrick Henry gets 15 points. And then, so that's when what Terry said, I started being like, there is no chance. Like, the percentage of happening what happened was so slim that on Monday night, my daughter's been wanting to watch Wonder Woman for
you guys watching
Christmas.
a movie. She wanted to watch where are you?
I'm like, I just sat through all of Sunday night and watched Derrick Henry. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to sit here and watch this game. And I was already satisfied. Like, hey, man, me and Terry split the pot. I got the most points. So I'm happy with $900. So, okay, if you told me at the beginning of the season, like, hey, you're going to get second, but you're going to get $900. And I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. The only thing that I was not happy with was Terry winning 3 out of the 4. That literally, like, if I'm going to be honest on this right here, that irked me so bad. If it was anybody else besides Terry, dude, I would have been like, oh, whatever. I care less. But to have Terry win 3 out of 4 years was like, oh, it right here, it hurts so bad. So I'm watching Wonder Woman. I'm watching the new Wonder Woman with my family, and my phone starts going ding, 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 ding with people. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm thinking it's work or whatever. And I look, and it's Zoe, it's Terry, it's Kenny, it's a few other people that are reaching out to me, be like, hey, congratulations. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? And then I go and I look, I'm like, oh, what? But at that moment, that's when the movie was over. I go to the game. And Terry said he picked Buffalo's defense, which I thought was genius on his part, because like Terry said, he wanted that wanted that defense to go against players on Monday night. And at the time, I'm watching the game. The Patriots have the ball. And all Buffalo had to do, a sack or a turnover, that's 1 point. That's game over.
Be gone.
And I'm sitting here now, before, no stress whatsoever. I'm watching a movie with my family. I'm enjoying it. Well, Wonder Woman was shitty, but I'm still enjoying spending time with the family. And all of a sudden, I went from just relaxing, doing nothing, to now stressing over the last, 4 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 4 minutes.
Yeah, there's about 4 minutes left.
And then I'm like, oh my gosh. So
which they did get 1 sack. They got it closer. They got 1 sack. They got me closer 1 point. And then they had another drive.
Oh, see, I must have turned it on right after that.
They had another drive.
It was 0.05. So a sack, a turnover, that would have been it for me.
Well,
but
it's time to start wrapping it up.
Buffalo got the ball and they converted that first down. That's when your boy, Krabby Karen with the C,
becomes the new champion.
That's a perfect name.
Of the Golden Goose League.
So,
well, that was last year, bro.
Listen, before we go though, my phone's been blowing up because some people in the league, I guess, heard that the 3 of us were gonna be on here. So they've been blowing me up, and they're asking me one question and one question only. And everybody I know wants to know this. And let's have breaking news here. I wish I had a little breaking news drop, but I don't have one.
I'm about to hang up.
But everybody needs to know, Terry, will you be back next year?
I don't know, man. Filter and I had to have a conversation.
Oh, dude, we'll gladly talk about that. And again, it's too inside for us to discuss it on this. But Terry, you know I love you, buddy. You know I love you. And I know for a fact, like, I don't know for 99%. I think if you would have won this league 3 out of 4 years, so easy for you to walk away.
Hey,
you
it's not
could be
easy
like,
for
yeah,
me.
I won 3 out of 4 years.
Bro, I can't leave.
Terry,
I can't leave.
Do this for me.
Answer my question.
Look at this. But for you to lose to me, you're opposite. You're 100%
guys
opposite.
standing on something. Look.
Like it, boys.
To
Getting
lose
fucking spicier
to
and spicier by
me.
the fucking minute.
Damn right. To lose to me by 0.05. 0.05.
Elliott.
So,
Siegel Elliott.
don't care about the players. Don't care about the players. 0.05. There is no way. You love this league. You need this league. There is not a chance in hell.
Just Terry, give the people what they want. Tell them you're going to come back next year.
Listen.
Just make it official so we can go. I got to wrap this up.
Listen. This is another income that my family and I have. Okay.
Hey, tell them how much you made, Terry, this year. How much you make?
This year?
Yeah.
750.
750, man. That's more than most.
So I think we can all agree that he's saying it's another income. He's coming back.
Listen, I don't want to take food away from my kids' mouth, so Listen, I have I have.
Come on, come on, come on.
I have an app. I have an Apple computer. I have an Apple computer that I bought at Best Buy. I went on a cruise.
Oh, I remember that was your first year winning. You can't.
Do I show up at Best Buy like, what are you doing here? I'm about to spend the money for fantasy football.
Glad I helped you pay for a new computer. That's awesome.
Either way, 800, 150, 750. I have to come back, man.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about, Terry.
That's why I did the We're So Excited song. All right, guys. On that note, we're out. We got to go. I don't want to make it too long for people. I appreciate you guys coming on. Don't go anywhere. I'm just going to end the show, and then I'll be right back and talk to you guys. Thank you guys for being a part of this. It was a lot of fun. Peace.
Champion!